generational wealth they're doing.
At 7, at 17, number 32, Carl Anthony Towns.
Good to have you with us on a Sunday afternoon for basketball here on 2K Sports. I'm Brian Anderson, joined by Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, and the fourth member of our crew, reporter Allie LaForce. And a look at the stats for Tyrese Halliburton.
And he's been locked in at the free throw line for sure. In the past 5 games, his percentage at the line is much better than it had been prior. Sometimes that's how it works. You just get that extra focus at the charity stripe.
A look at Indiana's starting group. They've got Halliburton, Walker out there with Isaiah Jackson. Then there's George, and it's Money in at the 3. And for New York, Jalen Brunson is out there with Mikal Bridges. Then it's Josh Hart. Then it's OG Anunoby, and it's Towns in at the 5. Grant, looking at these two teams, my attention is drawn to the front court matchup.
Oh yeah, this should be a battle on the baseline. Great to watch skilled bigs trade blows and show off what they can do down low.
And it's the Pacers to start out. Halliburton looking over the floor. Out left to the wing. Jackson with a screen on Anunoby. Kept alive. Kicks it to George. Here's Money. That one a tad offline, but it drops in for him.
Well, that's not exactly the most solid screen you'll see, but it still works.
Towns outside. For 3, Bridges. Pure from 3-point range.
You've got to be aware and stay attached to Mikal Bridges beyond that arc. This guy dangerous as a shooter.
The kick out to Walker. Sinks it from distance.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
And that one's good for Brunson.
We know that the defense in today's NBA wants to take away the rim and the 3. Mr. Brunson says, I'll take that mid-range.
Money misses. And here's Bridges. He'll bring it up for New York. This game coming on the heels of their win versus the Cavaliers.
And as a rule of thumb, the road can really test your team's depth. But they all stepped up and collectively produced a lot of points.
Well, how about the job they got from their bench? That productivity was a major part of the outcome.
Well, I don't think anyone predicted that Jalen Brunson would become... Oh, that's something else,
just beautiful. That'll be a move to remember. Wow.
Yeah, great creativity in the air. And that replay courtesy of the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And Allie LaForce spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Allie.
He said one person we cannot overlook is Tyrese Halliburton. He said the guy has major impact on the game, even when he's not scoring, which he usually is. He sets the tempo for the team. He can defend, rebound, pass the ball. Kid's got it all. Guys.
Appreciate the report, Allie. Here's Brunson outside. Sinks the tray. Brunson's got 7 points in the game.
One of the things you love about Jalen Brunson, he takes quality shots. How about that look from 3?
Here's the pick. Halliburton, the pass to Money. And they waste no time getting those 3 points back.
All right, defensively now, you've got to find a way to slow this guy down because he's putting it to you.
Brunson finds Hart. Here's Towns. Nice dish, and the layup goes down.
Karl Anthony Towns will mix his spots as a scorer, that time doing work inside.
Halliburton, the pass to Money. Jackson, the screen. Outside for Halliburton. Pass to Money. Down to 5 on the shot clock. George with it, and it's Anunoby picking him up. George with the bucket.
Don't you get the sense that Paul George relishes these challenges? He knows he's a top-tier player. He fears no one.
Now here's Towns. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Cleveland.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
Bridges against George. Money. And the shot is good. Dropping it off the front of the rim. 9 points in the game.
This guy is cooking right now. He is leading them on the offensive end as they remain in front here.
And we'll have a timeout called by Tom Thibodeau. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Jackson, he's checked in for Anunoby. The Pacers also with a sub. Pascal Siakam, he's checked in for Walker. Now here's Brunson, coming off a 28-point game against Cleveland. Jackson, the screen. And the Pacers tack on 2 more.
I just love the ball movement.
Knicks trail by 6. Bridges outside. Towns right side. Offensively, Karl Anthony Towns is one of the most well-rounded big men in the league, Grant.
Yeah, maybe in league history, BA. He's an elite three-point shooter, most scorer, and his passing is severely underrated.
Well, we know this. Karl Anthony Towns was a go-to option from the very first moment he stepped in the lines of an NBA court. The versatility is so difficult to match up against.
And the Knicks making a change here. Wagner's checked in.
Coming out hot, 4 out of 5. This could be a big game for him.
Puts up a 3. Money with the bucket. Money's got 14.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Outside Hart. On the take. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
I'll tell you, Josh Hart, if he sees a lane and an opportunity to drive, I promise he's going at it.
Here's Money. He's covered by Hart. Here's Money. Tried to bank it in, but it misses. Knicks trail by 4. Jackson outside. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. They'll pin that one on Pascal Siakam. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Indiana.
Yeah, their early focus on outside scoring has paid off. They're finding plenty of points from three-point land.
And their assist total, also impressive early, creating with the pass and playing for teammates.
Mikal Bridges checked in for New York. McBride comes in for Jalen Brunson. Gobert's checked in for Indiana. Smart comes in for George. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
Well, spectacular athleticism from the 7-foot center Gobert. Wow.
There's a minute 17 left in the first. Towns a screen on Smart. It's Bridges on the wing, defended by Smart. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line, a chance at a 3-point play.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
Well, Grant, one thing about this Knicks team, they have a clear identity.
Yeah, they have the mentality of their city. New York.
Oh, wow!
Now, I know he makes it look easy, but it takes incredible physical tools to pull that off.
Athleticism and explosion. To the paint. Here's Wagner. Ooh, and they immediately answer back with a dunk on the other end.
Well, we know Mo Wagner is a sweet shooting big, but right there he says, you know, I can get off my feet too.
Here's Money. Takes it inside, and he jams it home with authority.
And both teams already firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, this is already a high-scoring game, but we knew that was a possibility coming into this one.
Pass to Wagner. Here's Dadier. It's Bridges on the wing. And Gobert with a block.
Boy, whenever Gobert is out there, he will make you think about shooting near the rim. This guy's such a good shot blocker.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish. Bridges passes to McBride. Now here's Bridges. Over Smart. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Indiana ahead, up 5. And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. All right, let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
Well, they've used the
They've got Mo Wagner. Mikal Bridges is out there with Jalen Brunson. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Anunoby in at the small forward position. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Here's Money for three. George hits the trifecta. George has got 9 points in the quarter.
Another lead change. Give these teams credit. They're really fighting it out.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
Outside Brunson. Halliburton with the steal. Poke loose. Oh, stolen by Anunoby. Brunson against Halliburton. Oh, the agility of Brunson getting to the bucket.
This is what makes Jalen Brunson special. You've got to knock down contested shots. Mr. Brunson up to the task.
Kicks it to George. Pass to Halliburton. Here's Money. Anunoby covering. Walker, a screen on Anunoby. Money. Another three for Indiana.
They've been pretty lax with their perimeter defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers.
Halliburton against Brunson. Anunoby with it. Back to Wagner. That's basket number 6 in 8 tries.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Here's Money. Anunoby.
Oh, wow.
Get out the way, Greg.
Come on.
Get out the way.
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim.
OG Anunoby increasingly dangerous with his jumper. Nice catch and shoot opportunity there.
Doris, how about the evolution of Jalen Brunson's career from role player to star player?
Yeah, B.A., he begins his career as a backup point guard to the great Luka Doncic. But when given an opportunity to thrive without Luka in the playoffs, he did just that. Then he gets his own team and takes his game to an MVP level. Incredible evolution. Don't allow Mo Wagner to get into a rhythm now. This guy is starting to cook.
Kicks it to George. Knocks down the triple. George has got 14 points for the game.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Bridges outside. Here's Brunson, and it's New York scoring again.
What a confident stroke from Jalen Brunson. This guy doesn't have to dominate with the ball in his hands.
Out of bounds, it'll be New York's ball. Josh Hart's checked in for New York. Jackson, he's checked in for Indiana. We've got 33 seconds left in the second quarter.
It has proven very hard to guard Jalen Brunson without fouling, especially if he's aggressive to score it.
New York shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
At the line, 2 shots.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
That will sting a little bit, failing to get the lead when the opportunity was there, but he does tie it up.
Jackson with a screen on Hart. Money with the bucket.
They're going to have to pay more attention to him on the perimeter. He's hit 4 three-pointers already today.
Takes a step back. The floater. Great D that time from Halliburton. Goes up at the elbow. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Indiana ahead, up 3. Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Well, I'm here with Coach Rick Carlisle. A hot start. Coach, what did you like about this team's execution offensively?
We were making some shots. We moved the ball well at times. You've got to be careful about having the ball stick when they're doing their switching.
Good luck with the ball movement in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
Welcome to halftime, everybody. Right now, the New York Knicks are providing quite an entertaining and close game.
You know what? They push the action, but also play within themselves. Show great execution.
And you know, that usually leads to a high field goal percentage, and that's exactly what's happened here. All right, and now one of the more highly anticipated topics. Some news about trades to discuss.
Ooh, the emergence of Poole. His ability to take over games. He is so highly valued compared to when he first came into this league, and rightly so.
And that value was recognized both in the re-ups of his contract and the role he's taken on.
And that is going to do it for us. Let's get back to some second half action with Brian Anderson and company.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. Knicks trail by 3. And Indiana looking at who they've got. Walker out there with Jackson. Then it's Halliburton. Then there's Paul George. And it's Money in at the 3 slot. And the upcoming schedule for Indiana. On Tuesday, they'll take on Kristaps Porzingis and the Boston Celtics. And then on Wednesday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
What a great opportunity for this team to take a step forward. They have some tough road games coming up, and that kind of stretch can bring a team together. Winning some of these games would be huge for their overall confidence.
Here's Bridges. Drops one in from the wing. Bridges has got 10. And you played for several different coaches with very different philosophies, Grant. Did you have a favorite system?
Well, you know, B.A., I did. I played 19 years, a number of different coaches. But the 8 seconds or less offense back when I was with the Suns as a player, you want to run. And honestly, it's so much fun getting up and down the court like that.
Inside, here's Anunoby. Basket is good. Off the assist from Brunson. Brunson's got 3 assists now in this one.
Boy, what a nice shot by OG Anunoby. The contact, no problem.
Drills it from deep. Money's got 33 points.
Boy, the consistency he's had tonight has been impressive. Really steady from the field. Boy, that's 3 for 4 this half. You like that they're starting with a little bit of extra energy. Nice.
Here's Money, driving to the basket, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And a solid pick to free him up for the dunk.
Boy, the timing there couldn't be any better.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
Back to Brunson. Towns a screen on Halliburton. And here's Brunson from the arc. Great shot from Brunson.
Boy, excellent start to the second half. They've missed just once in 5 attempts.
Here's Money. Anunoby covering. And the basket by Halliburton.
Great play calling, great execution, leads to 4 for 4 to start this half.
Well, there's no question. Pascal Siakam has raised the ceiling of this Pacers team.
Yeah, absolutely. He complements Halliburton's up-tempo style very well. And defensively, he shores things up with his ability to guard 1 through 5.
And timeout is called by Tom Thibodeau. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the gameplay. And here you have the best teams when it comes to three-point shooting this season. The Pacers, second.
Instead of just bombing away, they work hard to create good looks from beyond the arc.
Here's Towns. Offensively, he's been a force. He's putting up around 19 points a game. And Anunoby gets it to go.
The jump shot just keeps improving from OG Anunoby. Amazing. You put in the time, you get into a nice rhythm.
On target from range.
Both teams are starting to find a rhythm here.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
And here's Brunson from the arc. And again, New York with the triple.
Though there's a calmness to Jalen Brunson, there's also a competitive fire. And boy, from range, look out.
67.
The kick out to Walker. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
And an excellent job distributing the ball tonight. You can really see his feel for the game.
And that's been his role pretty much from the opening tip. Get the ball to guys where they can score it.
And once he gets to the rim, it's fairly automatic.
Nothing fancy right there. Just takes his 2 points, moves on. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
The Pacers have a star tandem with Tyrese Halliburton and the newly re-signed Pascal Siakam, who said of his all-star point guard, his knowledge of the game and his desire to win and get better, that's all you can really ask for from a young player. Out there on the floor together, I think it's naturally just a fit. Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Towns outside. Pass to Hart. Clock at 6. Into the lane. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Josh Hart hammering it down. That's a message right there.
Here's Money. He's covered by Hart. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. One thing about the Pacers, Doris, they can flat out score the basketball.
It is incredible to me, BA, how infrequently the ball sticks. They play fast, whether in transition or in the half court. They make defenses work.
Jackson, he's checked in for Anunoby. The Pacers also with a sub. Siakam, he's checked in for Walker. Brunson against Halliburton. Oh, look at Jalen Brunson. Don't let that size fool you.
They just look so overwhelmed inside. That's why they continue to get attacked.
Money, pass to George. And there's the screen. Out to the right wing. Here's Money. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist. Money's got 12 points in just the second half.
They've had a hard time shutting down the three-point shot.
Hart passes to Jackson. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Well, Josh Hart, the very definition of unselfish. How about keeping his eyes up and finding his teammate?
There's the drive. Kicks it to George. Here's Money. Defended by Jackson. Pass to Halliburton. Just 4 to shoot. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
Now, Halliburton loves answering a challenge. A 3 made on one end means it's time for him to come back and answer.
And we'll have a timeout called by Tom Thibodeau. He wants to review the game plan.
All right, man, give it up.
Both teams will make substitutions.
Breaker dance crew. Let's give it up for your next breaker dance crew.
Wagner, the pass to Bridges. Now Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
Boy, Mikal just adding value to your team when he's keeping his head on a swivel like that.
Here's Money. Defended by Jackson. Money with the bucket. Money's got 44.
I'll tell you, the team is simply riding the hot hand. This guy has been lights out.
Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Well, the big man, Wagner, getting to it. Nice finish.
Here he goes. Siakam for 3. And again, it's Indiana with a 3.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Did you see that? Look at the elevation on that dunk, B.A.
Man, he just cocked it back and fired it down with one hand.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
Here's Money. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Siakam. Siakam's got his 3rd assist of the night.
Unselfishness can be infectious. Terrific teamwork.
And so it's Indiana leading by 6 as we wrap up the quarter. Hey, 3 points is better than 2. They built this lead by tacking on that extra point at the end of possessions. More NBA on 2K Sports right after this. And we take a listen in now to Tom Thibodeau on a recent huddle.
Offensively, we got to do a better job. We got to shut the paint down. We got to challenge.
3 intense quarters behind us. One more to go. A touch under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Kicks it out to Jackson. Outside Walker. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. And the Pacers lead by 17.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Clock at 4. Wagner. That shot is off. Ooh, excellent D there from Jackson.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through. See if you can get an easy opportunity.
Here's Money. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
We know Paul George, a very capable playmaker, guys. He is brilliant as a passer.
Ooh, a great look there. Brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam Can. Pass to Hart. Outside Anunoby. Going inside. Ooh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. Doris OG Anunoby helped the Raptors so much on their title run in 2019.
Yeah, the hard part is he was never able to suit up for the NBA Finals. To get through the season and then have an injury at that point, heartbreaking for a player. But consider, he's the first UK-born player to win an NBA title, and that cannot be taken away.
Karl Anthony Towns has checked in for New York. Jackson with a screen on Anunoby. The kick out to Walker. Pass to Money. And got it! Another basket!
A phenomenal scoring display. He is getting whatever he wants.
And you throw in tonight's performance. He's approaching 3rd place for the most 50-point games all time.
Yeah, the Laker legend Kobe Bryant ahead of him, having hit that point total 25 times in his illustrious career.
That's toughness, that's ability to absorb contact and finish. That is Jalen Brunson in a nutshell.
Outside for Halliburton. Pass to Money. Jackson with a screen on Anunoby. Halliburton for 3. He buries it from 3. Halliburton's got 8 points here in the quarter.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
And we'll have a timeout called by Tom Thibodeau. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game.
And I'll tell you what, this was one easy pick for sure. From the start, he looked in total control for the entire game. It's incredible to see a player outperforming everyone else on the court.
You know, I got to applaud his incredible energy out there tonight. Losing again was not an option for him. He wouldn't settle for anything other than a win. Jackson with a screen on Anunoby. Driving in. Money. Pass to Jackson. Here's Money. It's George on the wing. He's guarded by Bridges. That one's good for 2. George has got 19 points.
Well, fans of Paul George know that this is a shot he has made throughout his career. Level of concentration, though, is special.
Back to Anunoby. From downtown. That one's good. And it's Towns with the assist. Towns has got 4 assists now tonight. Time called here. The Pacers decide to talk it over. They lead by 17. So New York ends up going with a whole. And so it's the Pacers taking care of business in this one. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement indeed, BA. It was in enemy territory, but they controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it. That's how you win on the road.
Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Hey there, I'm here with Pascal Siakam. The shots were falling for you tonight. How'd you like the flow offensively?
I like it. You know, we play for each other like we always do. Move the ball around, get the open shots. And today, they went in, so we got to continue to play.
It's helpful when it goes in. Thanks so much, Pascal.
Allie, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Doris Burke, I'm Brian Anderson saying thanks for tuning in. And time to present our player of the game.